You may be seeing claims that VocalViews pays $50 or more for a single interview sometimes. And yes, that part is true. But after testing it myself, I also found some pretty big downsides you need to know before signing up. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how it works, what you can realistically expect, and one surprising requirement that could stop you from getting paid if you are not prepared. So stick around till the end so you don't miss this one detail that could make or break your earnings. My name is Mikael and I have tested hundreds of ways to make money online, and today we are looking at VocalViews, which is a platform that connects you with paid research studies. For example, interviews, focus groups and surveys where the payouts can be really high. I've seen studies offering $100, $150 or even more. But that does not necessarily mean it's a great option for all. In this video, I'll take you inside the platform, show you real examples of what you can earn, break down the pros and the cons, and share a few tips to help you avoid common mistakes if you decide to sign up. So let's dive in. So let's start by going over who can join, and if you scroll down on the landing page of VocalViews, you can see that it says in global market research, online and in person. So that means that you can potentially join from all countries, but be aware that some options are face-to-face, others are online, and the face-to-face studies are hosted across the UK, Europe and the US, but they say that there are also opportunities far beyond these regions with their online research options. And this can, for example, be video, focus groups, interviews, product testing, surveys and more. But realistically, from what I can see, you should not expect to find a huge amount of opportunities if you do not live in any of the regions mentioned here. But it is free to sign up, so if you decide that it's interesting after watching this video, you can still go and have a look and see exactly what it offers in your country. And no matter where you live, if you decide to do that, I would love to hear in the comments which country are you from and how many opportunities do you find in there. But before doing that, let's continue so you know whether it's actually worth it or not. So how can you then earn on VocalViews? I already mentioned a few examples. You can see they also mention the overall different types of research studies that you can participate in. There are online focus groups, online interviews, home visits, ethnographies, online diaries, bulletin boards, paid service and in-home product testing. So there's quite a lot of different opportunities, but that doesn't mean that these opportunities will always be available. So let me just log in and then we will take a look at some examples. And I have logged in already here, and you can see, you can scroll down and you can see the current options. And I must say, first of all, the usability in here could be a little bit better. It looks a little bit old school, and the experience with filling out your profile and all that, I just personally think it could be better, and I have tested hundreds of different platforms. But anyways, it's fairly easy to get an overview of the different opportunities, and you can see exactly what it would be here. Video online diary there, or an online external, so that's some kind of online task also there. You then need to click it to read about the exact requirements. And you can see the target group just in the little summary, and I like that they have made that easily accessible and available, so you can quickly see if you, for example, are not in the US, this is not for you. If you're not in the UK, this is not for you. And currently those are the only options that I've seen here, and I have tested it for quite a while on and off, and there are not very often new tasks added, so that's just one thing to be aware of. But if you are interested in one, you need to click it to see the full description, to see if you can live up to it, and also to get more information about how much you can earn. And then you can read the exact description. It's not super long, but if you feel like you live up to this, you can just click here to apply. That doesn't mean you'll necessarily get accepted, so that's one thing to be aware of. That's also why you should make sure to fill out your profile in here if you decide to join. And then you can see the incentive, and in this case it would be $125, so quite high paying. And you can then see the exact method and what you would need to do. It's 30 minutes per day, every day for a week is expected. Then you also know exactly what kind of effort is required. So of course it does take quite a bit of effort, but it can be quite interesting and fun, and sometimes it pays really well, as you can see. And here's another one where you can see that's for the UK. Here it pays a lot better for your time, because that's just 45 minutes, and an online interview you would actually get £200 for that. But of course it's also a very specific target group they are looking for, so keep that in mind. The highest paying ones are harder to qualify for. If you can't live up to what they are looking for, do not even bother to apply, because that will just annoy everyone. But how can you then get paid if you manage to qualify for some of these interviews or tasks? Let's go over that next. How you can get paid is always important to know before you join any online earning platform, because you need to make sure that it's a method that you actually like and you prefer when getting paid. And you can see they describe that very clearly already on the landing page. They are sent directly to your bank or via other convenient methods. So again, this can likely vary depending on your country. In some countries they will likely not offer bank transfer, but then likely PayPal or something like that instead. But in general you can expect to get paid in cash, which is definitely always nice in my opinion. Now, before you rush to sign up, here's something really important to know. And this is where a lot of people can get stuck or risk not being able to get paid. Because if you go to the payment settings, and you might not do this right away, because I know often you prefer just earning and then you look at all the settings afterwards, but if you're not aware of this, you might end up not getting paid, because as you can see in the payment settings here, they have specific requirements, because to actually get paid on VocalViews you need to verify your identity, because most earning platforms need some kind of verification to avoid fraud. But what most people don't realize is that your documents must be officially translated. As you can see, it's not enough to just upload one of these documents, it needs to be in one of these languages. And if it's not in one of these languages, then you need an official translation into French or English. So if your documents are not already in one of these languages, then you need to be prepared to go through the extra step of getting them officially translated, which can cost money. So you cannot just do it yourself, it needs to be an official translation. And this is definitely something you'll want to know before spending time on studies, and then you can decide for yourself whether you think it's worth it or not, in case you do not have documents in any of these languages. And if you don't feel comfortable about uploading your documents in general, then you should not join, because then you cannot get paid. So overall, I think VocalViews seems promising at first, and it has some interesting studies. It does pay quite well, but there are very few opportunities. So that's why if you are interested in something like this, you can just join it and see if there are options, but you should not expect too much. And that's why you should also make sure to join other options. I actually featured VocalViews in a video I had about high paying surveys. So I will leave a link in the top corner and also below, so you can check that out for great alternatives, because it's a good idea to join many different platforms like this, because high paying service interviews and studies like this, they are hard to qualify for. There are not very many available, so that's why you need to join many platforms to get more opportunities. So I'll leave a link to that below. I also do have a list on my website of the best research studies in general on my website. I'll also leave a link to that below, so you can go there and get some inspiration for other platforms. But overall, I think VocalViews can be worth it, mainly if you live in the US, UK or Europe, but you just need to do it with the right expectations. There will not be many opportunities, but it is free to join, so you can check it out, see if there are any options, check it out once in a while. Compared to many other platforms, there are just not many opportunities in my experience. If you have other experiences or any questions, any opinions or anything, I would love to hear that in a comment below. And finally, if the video helped you, make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.